feel today? Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! Let's go to the house! Let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
No, game's not over. Just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday, and we're trying to get it going. Leah Brown, what's going on? She says, "Hey, I hope you have a great show." Thank you, Leah. Just you stopping by saying that means the world to me. Leah Brown is a phenomenal sister, a queen. She is a life coach, and I need her. Like I need a regular session with her every day, Garrick. Every day, I need to drop in by her, and before I even do something, I bet Leah. All right, here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all, without further ado, y'all know this brother like no other. I got what he was rocking before. Hashtag GJ for JM. Former member of the Houston Texans, played in the NFL. Played in the S.D.F.L, is the founder and the commissioner of the State Development Football League, and he's doing just big things. Got something else coming up, and he's going to tell you all about it today. Without further ado, it's Garrick Jones. What's going on, brother?
Man, living life, man. We waking up every day, Doc, so yeah. I can't complain. Complain at all.
That right there is a blessing. I follow your posts, man.
There you go. I'm dropping jewels.
That's a blessing.
I'm dropping jewels every day, man. I'm just, I'm letting them know that, we coming. We've been away for a minute. We had to strategically set up some things, but we having fun right now, man. It's about to be a really good time, Doc.
Well, let me just say this, brother. A lot has happened since we last talked. A lot has happened. Let's talk about it from your standpoint. What's Garrick Jones up to now?
Well, after the whole GM push, it never stopped. I mean, we're about to get ready to crank up Act 2 of that deal. We still have some unfinished business, which is really good. I think the city's going to like what we're going to bring to the table. I've had the opportunity to link up with a couple of organizations. I'm on the advisory board of a few more. I'm part of a family office now where I'm heading the sports division, which is really big because that's 1% of the people that really run the country and run the world, actually. I'm dipping into that space a little bit, and they're excited about what we're bringing to the table. But I mean, the mode of action has always been the same, man. Trying to enlighten people, educate them, and put them in a position to take care of their families from the grave. So we're about to get ready to crank this thing up, man. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I've seen you have been, working with the retired players and a number of different groups associated with the league. Tell us about those positions and what you got going on with them.
Okay, well, yeah, I've just been recently voted VP of the NFLPA Houston chapter. I'm still the president of Huddle Up. We actually have an event this weekend on Saturday where we partnered with the Water and Seeds as well as the Alumni Association and the Wounded Veterans situation as well. We're gonna have a flag football game as well as a wheelchair football situation where we're just having folks coming out to the Houston Texans YMCA, and we're gonna have a good time, man. It's from like 9:30 to 12 noon. So we won't be out there very long, but we're gonna have a good time, man. I'm looking forward to getting Mr. Jones out there so we can get him on the mic so he can MC
I'm
that
already
thing a little bit, man.
here, brother.
We're gonna have a good time, man.
Yes,
Great
sir.
call.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. So we're having a good time right now, man. It's time for us to really take this thing by the horns, man, and really get back out there in the community and begin doing some things. And I'm looking forward to leading that charge, Doc.
Garrick Jones joining us here on the lunch break. Tell us about the Huddle Up Association. Tell us about that group.
Well, the Huddle Up Foundation of Houston is comprised of former athletes, former pro athletes, the NFL guys. We're bringing in some NBA, some NHL guys here pretty soon because there's a lot of people, a lot of former athletes that live in the city of Houston and around in the surrounding areas, man.
Right.
So, well, what we're doing is just taking those initiatives that all these athletes have, man, and teaching them how to set them up the right way to make the biggest social impact. And at the same time, servicing these communities that we are from or we live in, and just connecting with the fans, man, to the point where we're family now. Because we're all in this thing together.
Right.
Whether we know it or not, we gotta come together and make this thing happen, and that's what I'm all about, man.
Yeah. Again, you do a phenomenal job at that, Garrick. And then, of course, the being a part of the Players Association on a local level. Tell us about what that entails and what that means to you that they voted you into that position.
Man, for me, it's big. It gives me the opportunity to really implement a lot of the ideas that I've had for years, just to help my NFL brothers, man. I mean, because even though we played on different teams at some point in time, right now we're on the same team, and the quality of life changes for you drastically when you're done playing, and it's all about just helping our brothers out, helping their families out, and making sure that guys understand that there is help. Whether it be mental health issues,
Right.
whether it be, physical situations or whatever, man, because guys, tend to kind of fade into obscurity when they're done. And it's not supposed to be like that. Our
Right.
thing is really making sure that we're taking care of our brothers and being their keepers, as well. And just making sure that everybody's just, in a good space, man, because right now it's tough. It's
Right.
still tough, with the whole virtual situation and COVID and whatnot, but I mean, we're going to get through it, but we got to do it together.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with more from Garrick Jones. Y'all know him, former Houston Texans, State Developmental Football League commissioner and founder. And we're going to talk more with him in just a little bit right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Got to give the people time. Give the people what they want.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, this is Sonia from Southeast Houston, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on 92.3 and KYOK.
That's right. We are AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. I'm AJ Jones. It's Team Texas Tuesday, and I got a good brother like no other joining us here on the show. Garrick, you're originally from Arkansas, right?
Yeah, North Little Rock, baby.
Originally from North
Little Rock.
But you have made Houston your home, Doc. You have just made this, the headquarters of all that you do. I like that. When did you decide that you wanted Houston to be your home?
Well, I think when I was here first with the Texans, the city embraced me and everything that I was bringing to the table, and especially from a philanthropic side. And then eventually I had a day proclamated to me out here in Houston, which is October 25th. And they gave me the Garrick Jones Day. I said, you know what? no matter where I go or whatever the situation will be, I'll always make use of my home. So, and that's what it's been, man.
Yeah, and I for one appreciate that, man, because you are a great brother. You do a lot in this community on several different levels, man, and we appreciate that. You were talking about the Huddle Up Foundation. You're talking about the Players Association, and just making sure guys don't just kind of fade into the background and not feel like they've got help, and especially when it comes to mental health and mental health situations. When we look at what happened with Philip Adams over there in the Carolina, South Carolina, just a case of truly a brother that was crying out for help, clearly wasn't getting the help, and then when he felt like help was being taken away from him, it went real bad. It went real bad, and talk about situations like that and how you guys are trying to get to these brothers long before it ever gets to something tragic like that.
Man, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier, man. You have all these people that are cheering for you, from when you were a baby, and playing the game, and then all of a sudden that stops, and just the toll that your body goes through, with all those emotional challenges, all the stress, everything that happens, man. I mean, everything changes when you're done. When the money stops, people leave.
Yeah.
The divorces happen, the foreclosures, all those different things, man. And when you're playing, you feel like you're a superhero. I mean, and it's systemic. It's one of those things where, man, you gotta address the elephant in the building. But when guys are done, because of everything that has happened to them, a lot of guys don't know how to adjust. And they've never been, coached up on the adjustment. It's always been the X's and O's. And when guys no longer have those things, man, they try to figure it out on their own. And that's when you get into self-medicating. You get into just sex. You get into everything. You know what I'm saying? And you do a lot of running and gunning and trying to chase that high, if you will, that you once had. And man, that's a recipe for disaster. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about us talking about it and just being real with those instances, man. And because I've gone through my bouts with depression, where I was in a bad way. And man, I prayed and I meditated and I had the right people around me, but it took me really, understanding, hey, I have to do this. Nobody's going to do it for me. And I use that same type of tenacity I had on the field in order to start conquering a lot of these demons, man. And I still struggle to this day. But being able to have somebody to talk to is really what's needed. And a lot of these guys, and that's what we want to be here for, man, just to talk about things and let them know, man, I'm here for you. I'm your shoulder, man. Whatever the situation may be, we can make it through it.
Garrick Jones joining us here on the lunch break, former member of the Houston Texans, played in the NFL. The C.F.L. is the commissioner and founder of the State Developmental Football League, and it's got an event coming up. We're just talking from a personal level right now. Appreciate the transparency, man, on your struggles and your battles, because I think a lot of people just see the money, man. They see the money. It's like, why would you throw it away? You had all that money, and why you do this? Man, money doesn't fix everything. Money don't fix my heart and my mental health issues. And like you say, when the money stops, then what? And a lot of, and I'm not blaming the organizations or anything like that, but a lot of these organizations move on as if the dude never existed. And
absolutely,
that's hard, man. That separation is real. That void is deep, it's vast.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, and that's the next man up. It's always a new bell of the ball every year. So as soon as you sign that contract, you're on your way out. And I tell people, man, it's the best temporary job you'll ever have. It's really quick, and you have the rest of your life to live. And there's some big voids, because everything has been so regimented your entire life, where you lived on itinerary. Now all of a sudden you don't have that, and nobody's ever been educated on the aftermath of having a career like that.
Yeah.
And then you have so many different people that look at it and say, well, why this and why that, and how did you go broke, and I would have done this. You get that all the time, and I understand it because they're talking from that space that they're in, and they've never been through it. So it's up to us to teach from testimony, things that we've gone through, things that we've been through, in order for people to understand. So that's what I'm all about: exposure to and education of, so that way people understand it, and we can be more compassionate and have more empathy when it comes down to everybody, because everybody has demons that they're fighting. So that's part of the deal.
Yeah, so true, man. Again, you really are breaking it down for us today, as you always do, Garrick. I got to take a real quick break. I want to come back with some more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. If you want to get in, you got questions for Garrick Jones, hit me up 281-453-1000 or text me 832-403-5005.
Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
Okay.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hi, this is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, we're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. We're streaming live on KYOKradio.org. And Garrick, we got people who are saying thank you for your testimony. In fact, one person, CE, said, AJ, thanks for always having this good brother on. I'm always blessed when he is. Question, Garrick, what really goes on behind the scenes in the locker room and when you're not in that locker room anymore?
Man, you get a chance to see two sides to people. You know, you have the guys that, you know, have two sides to them. You get a chance to see that locker room side. And then when you're away from that locker room, you get a chance to see them, you know, with their family. And it's a vast difference. You know, it's like a complete turnaround a lot of times. You have some guys who are rowdy and rah in the locker room, and you know, and they're subdued when they're at home. You know, it's a whole different person. Which a lot of times when you're done playing, that kind of leads to other things and problems down the road. You know what I'm saying? Because they've lived, you know, those different lives, and they just have those personalities in them. And then when you no longer have that outlet to go out there on the field and physically get rid of some of that frustration or whatever, now that's when you get into a lot of different things like domestic violence and so many other aspects, you know, the guys have. You know, when you don't no longer have that outlet, it's a wild deal. But man, the camaraderie in the locker room is unreal. I miss it to this day. You know, people ask me would I go back and play. You know, that would be the only reason why I would do it, just to be around the fellas. And, you know, we sitting around the campfire line, you know how that goes, man, just having a good time and just being around, you know, different people, because you get a chance to be around different walks of life. Yeah. And those are your brothers. It doesn't matter if you're white, black. You know, I have teammates of mine that are in other countries. Yeah. And they're my brothers to this day. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. You know, people will learn a lot from being in the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's interesting that it's something about being around people who literally are going through the same thing you're going through. They've done what you've done. They're on the same level as you. It's not just a football player. It's another NFL football player. It's another player that came out of college. It's another player, you know, that has done some things that's trying to maneuver, you know, contract negotiations and possibly being cut and trying to fight for a starting position on the highest level possible. Is something having that brother next to you than somebody like me who's just talking about it.
Right. And a lot of people aren't educated on it. And that's my mission, you know, right now is to educate the fans so they understand the dynamics of what goes on with these negotiations. You hear a lot of times that fans, I wish I could just put my money in. I want to be an owner, but they don't know anything about ownership. So that's one of the things that I want to do. I want to really educate the fans so they understand the dynamics of what goes on, so they have a better understanding. And like I said, that leads to empathy. Once you understand and you know something about somebody or what they're going through on all levels, now you can relate to them a little bit more. Because 9 times out of 10, if you step outside and you see a bug and you don't understand it, the first impulse is to step on it and crush it. So it's the same thing in life. You know what I'm saying? And humans got that bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those deals where we're gonna get this thing rectified, man, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna keep it real simple.
Yeah, man. I love that you are breaking it down like that, because you're giving a human perspective to what some people just sum up as "shut up and play." Just shut up and entertain me, Doc. I'm trying to get away from my miserable. I'm sorry, take miserable out. I'm trying to get away from my life for a couple of hours, and I need you to entertain me. So I don't care what you're going through. You getting paid millions of dollars to just entertain me. And today I want to hear the human side of those guys and ladies, in their professional lives, who they really are. Because again, when we look at what happened with the young man in South Carolina, when we look at what happened with Paul Pierce, a human moment turned into, I am unemployed. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we got to talk about at some point Deshaun Watson.
Okay. Yeah, I'm busy, man. I already know I'm here for all the smoke, man. You know how I operate, man. I mean, that's the thing about it. That's what's up with the fans, man. Like I said, it's educating everybody so they know exactly what the situation is, because the fans themselves are investors in these organizations, and 9 times out of 10 they're getting a terrible return. So we're gonna switch that around too. So man, I'm looking forward to all of it, man. That's what this thing is about, dog. Just making sure everybody understands what their worth is. And once you do that, that kind of rectifies a lot of the misconceptions and the miscommunication.
See, and that's what I loved about your push to become a general manager, because you were gonna flip the script. You were gonna be one of the most available, hands-on, talk to me, ask me questions. It doesn't have to be in the press conference. General managers that there was, and it's not over. It just didn't happen in the time frame in the way that we wanted to. So, again, brother, that's going to be key. From your standpoint right now with the players, how much hands-on access do you have to the guys in the various locker rooms?
I have some access. I can get to who I need to get to if I really want to get to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I have a lot more access than I'll just say a fan. You know what I'm saying? So because I've gone through it, and that's been the deal. But for myself, just for me to have access and get to guys, it's only so much I can do on my own.
Right.
So what I'm doing right now is putting together another campaign, if you will, where we're going to educate everybody, especially the fans, the players themselves, and even also the league. They need an educational lesson when it comes down to this thing, and we're going to do it in such a way to where we're going to take this American dream that everybody has, and we're going to turn it into something special to where everybody's going to be able to have some ownership in these situations, especially these teams. Because you think about these fans themselves, man, they're paying a lot of money for a mediocre product. And at the end of the day, you have to be able to say, look, I understand what's going on, and I have some say, because your dollar is major. The two most important groups in the NFL organization are the fans and the players. And it's time to get to that point. But for those guys that are playing right now, we're going to have mentor programs for these young men, so they understand these mistakes that can and will happen, but they won't allow themselves to be in a position to be taken advantage of, because the moment you stepped on the field and you were good, you had a target on your back, and that was a long time ago. That was way before the NFL, so they got to understand that.
Now, again, Garrick Jones joining us, former member of the Houston Texans, played in the NFL, played in the S.D.F.L, is the founder and the commissioner of the States Developmental Football League, and working with the so you're the local president of the Players Association.
VP, Santana Dotson is the president. I'm the vice president.
Gotcha. Yeah, I want to make sure I got that right. So, Garrick, I want to dig into what you just said a little bit with the mentorship. I've had the opportunity to mentor / Christian counsel some players after they got in trouble. I was like a subcontractor.
Right.
Tony Dungy had put in place, and he brought in some folks, and then they brought me in the regional area. They ain't really want to do that. They didn't really want to, and I get it because they had gotten in trouble. They didn't really feel like it was necessary. They wanted to get back on the field and play ball.
Right.
How hard is it to get, from your perspective, guys to accept good mentorship?
Well, that's the thing. You have to understand where they're coming from, and that's where the education comes into play. You have to be from that space and understand the amount of changes that happens in an individual when they're getting that amount of money, that amount of pub, that amount of attention. It changes a person, and it doesn't matter who you are,
Right.
And where you come from. The moment you start to get all of that, you start to read the press. Okay, I'm this guy, and it's unfortunate, but you have to have older individuals in your camp that have been there, done that, that can help navigate, and help you navigate different things, because eventually you keep waking up every day, you're gonna be just as old as I am. And you got to put it in a vernacular where they can understand. And a lot of people can't do that because they've never been in a locker room, they've never been in training camp, they never had to impose their will on the field. They don't know what it's about, so they're speculating. They read about it, so now I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna give you some counseling. You know what I'm saying? But it takes being able to get in the locker room and really work it out. Like grown men. And talk about it, and do what we need to do.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I never tried to come from that perspective. I always tried to deal with the issue that I was there for.
Absolutely.
This is what we're here for today, and I got to write this up today. So let's talk about this.
Right.
And was able to focus that in. Man, when you look at the situation in Houston with the Texans, I said yesterday, if you take the Deshaun Watson situation off the table, which is a big take, I mean, it's a big situation, the organization was still a hot mess, man. The organization still coming off of a 4-12 season. The organization still fired their head coach and GM 4 games into the season. Organization still had bad production on the field, bad fan participation and engagement, and then they literally fumbled the whole situation with the head coach search, GM search, and how they dealt with their most important people, their players. Right. And again, we get into the situation with Jack Easterby, Nick Caserio, and Cal McNair. I think David Culley's a good dude. I don't know him. I know Lovie Smith is a great dude. I see the Pep Hamilton hiring. And then you look at some of the names that they brought in free agency. It just feels like Band-Aids where surgery is necessary. Am I seeing it wrong? Talk to me.
Yeah, no, you hit it right on the head, man. I mean, a lot of this is reactive. It's not proactive. A lot of people, I'll just say this, man, a lot of the fans that got behind my movement really understood what I was trying to do, because if I was put in that position, we wouldn't even be in this position. Yeah. I can guarantee you that right now. The whole Deshaun Watson situation, all this, man. And that's the thing. It's about communication. It's about respect. It's about, really having a family atmosphere. That's the culture that you need. You need a family. And right now, that whole situation over there is rough. And it's going to take the fans speaking up. It's going to take the players speaking up. It's going to take everybody in order to get this thing rectified. And I plan on heading that charge because of the work that we put in, for the last year and a half, and going into the second wave of this situation. We have some things on tap that will give us an opportunity to really get with them and say, hey, look, we understand, and with us understanding, here's the scenario, and it's something that works for everybody. And it's unfortunate when you get to a certain position, a lot of times you don't listen, and people are just talking just to get their points across. And when you have that, you don't have anything. You don't have any understanding, no intentional communication, and you lose the respect. Once you lose the respect of the players and the fans, like I say, those are the 2 biggest components to an organization: is your fans and your players. You don't have them, you don't have anything. Yeah. And I don't care how big and how much money you got, you will go broke running it like that. And it's time for us to bring it to the square and rectify this thing, man, and get back to where we need to be. Because Houston, man, when it comes down to sports, we're doing bad right now, man.
Everything's a
Yeah,
mess. I ain't
yeah, it
shooting none of it. It's all a mess.
is. Right.
Jones joining us here on the show. Garrick, why? And I'm trying not to attack this dude personally. Why is there a Jack Easterby? And when you have a Jack Easterby like that, where, like you said, you lose respect for the organization and how serious they are, what do you do when there's a guy that comes in that don't know where you came from, don't know what you're going through, and seems to just be out of touch with everything going on? And like Andre Johnson said, causing more problems than than fixing anything. What do you do as a player or a front office exec when something like that is happening?
You leave.
Yeah.
You leave. As simple as that, man. You look at the moves that have been made, and you look at the people that have left the organization. All right. I mean, there are clues as to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And when you really sit down and you look at it, and you go back and you backtrack, you leave. And it's unfortunate because the players are in a position where they're being paid. Right? They have a job to do, and if they don't do that job, or if somebody doesn't like them, I mean, you can have upper management or a coach wake up one day and say, man, you know what, I don't like you. I've had that before, where a coach came to me and said, man, as long as I'm here, you'll never see the field.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happened? Like, we were just good, 2 weeks ago, but because, one of the guys that you wanted to play was sent home, now I have to suffer because I was better than them, or I'm doing more off the field.
Yeah.
And you end up handicapping your organization when it's like that. And same thing with the fans. It's like Sam Walton said, the fans are the boss. If they take their dollars elsewhere, now what do? You have to make the adjustment. So those are the things that, with the players, and that's a lot of what is going on with Deshaun, man. I mean, he stood up and said what he wasn't going to do. And now, everything that's happening is happening. But all the rest of the players are looking at this. The world is looking at this. So, it's a power play. And the fans are like, man, we don't know what to do because we're paying all of this money. And believe you me, I've been case studying the fans for the last year and a half. And the programs that I put together address a lot of their issues and concerns. But they've been paying a lot of money for season tickets. They've been waiting, for this amount of time to be on season ticket list. They still have to pay per game to go to the game, even if they have season tickets. I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And when you are investing in an organization like that, and you're not educated on what's going on, you look at it from a fan's perspective, and it's all emotion. So it's a fire right now, man. And they got to have somebody in there that understands it from A to Z, and they don't have that right now.
Yeah, I've been trying to give Cal McNair a pass. I can't do that no more. I mean, he gave all the power to O'Brien, and then that didn't work out. Now he's giving all the power to Jack Easterby. I mean, no shade at Jack, but Doc, we got the same credentials. We got the exact same credentials. Yeah. He preaches sermons, I preach sermons. I could go be a team chaplain. He was a team chaplain. Right. How do you give complete control to a dude like that who, like Andre Johnson says, is doing more harm than good?
Well, number one, you don't give him complete control. With complete control and absolute power comes absolute corruption. So you got to understand that from the gate. There has to be a system of checks and balances in place in order to, facilitate change when it's needed. And unfortunately, they don't have that there. They don't have someone that'll just say, hey, look, this isn't it. It would have been like that if I'm in any organization and I see some things that aren't adding up. I'm going to say something. I mean, I'm a grown man. You're a grown man. Let's work this thing out. I mean, we may get upset, but at the end of the day, we're gonna get it worked out because we understand what the end game is. Yeah. And I don't think that they have that there. And it needs to be rectified, man, because the former players see it, the current players, they definitely see it, because they're in it, and the fans see it, and the people that are in the building that are working, they see it. Yeah. And it's a hard deal. That's hard to get yourself up to go to work every day. I can promise you that.
Yeah, Garrick, stay right there. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Know the battle
battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Right on to the finish. Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America Working Forces Clyde Cummings Jr. agent.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV program. Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free
season
Google
ticket
TV
holder.
voice remote,
I'm gonna read
free
that one next.
installation, and free equipment.
Please do.
Wait, call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302.
I think they're going to like what we're coming with, man.
1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302. Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you. On the lunch break.
Yeah, this is the lunch break, but this is the legendary KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Be sure and check out the newest show in the family. It's called Coffee with Keith. You can check it out every Saturday from 12 to 1. Longhorn Keith, y'all know him, calls into the show. We have some great conversations. He's now doing his own thing here on the show. Got a coffee talk show, and I'm telling you, he's making coffee look and sound like something we never imagined it could be. So check him out Saturday, 12 to 1, Coffee with Keith here on the legendary KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. You'll be glad you did. All right, I'm back with Garrick Jones. He's a former member of the Houston Texans. He played in the NFL, C.F.L., founder, commissioner, State Developmental Football League, vice president of the NFL Players Association here for the city, the state. And we appreciate that, man. Appreciate you making time for us as always. Season ticket holder. I'll just do his initials. SP. I've been a season ticket holder since 2002. Never have I felt so underappreciated and helpless. What can we do, AJ, like you just asked, to get this organization back from guys like Jack Easterby?
Well, to answer that question, the next act of this campaign that I have going on is we are going to launch our community, in which we are focusing on the acquisition of sports teams, be it NBA, MLB, it could be all the way down to semi-pro organizations. And we're going to allow the fans to be a part of that. Now, with that, there is a obligation that we all have in regards to that, because 10% of all families in the U.S. are considered accredited investors, and that's anyone making anywhere from $200 to $300K a year, and that's married couples or whatever the situation is. And these fans aren't considered accredited investors. So along with this community that you'll be a part of and be able to buy into, we're going to educate you on financial literacy, on business. You're going to learn about digital currencies. You're going to learn about blockchain. You're going to learn about investment. And we are going to eventually get you to that accredited investor status. And then we're going to tokenize, what we're doing in regards to the acquisition of these teams and these leagues, because the fans' dollar, it matters. Like Sam Walton said, it matters. So that gives us an opportunity to make this thing fan-centric. That's what we're calling it. And it's going to be a wonderful situation where you're going to have access to not only one team, you're going to have access to multiple teams. We're going to go after teams every year. because every year there are teams in dismay. And the Texans are one of them. The whole Oilers situation. We're eyeballing everything, but we want to get the fans involved, and they have to understand and be educated on what it takes to run an organization.
Okay.
That way, everybody's in a good space, and that's what the educational aspect of it is to give everybody the opportunity to have fractional ownership, kind of like the Green Bay situation where they're buying shares.
Right.
But we're gonna take it into the 21st century. We're gonna take this thing to the decentralized, tokenized aspect of it, and we're gonna utilize a lot of what goes on with the blockchain and Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything else. But we're gonna educate everybody on that too as well. So we're gonna create ecosystems for each one of these teams, and we're going to put money together in order to go in here and make an offer that they can't refuse.
You're talking my language. When we hear what happened with Dwayne Wade in Utah, Shaq, part of Sacramento, Grant Hill, part of Atlanta, LeBron James buying into the Boston Red Sox. There ain't many more baseball teams more historic than that. You talking my language, bro. So how can people find out more information about that?
Oh, well, the same way they found me the first way. They can go on there and they can Google hashtag GJ for GM. It's still the same move. It's still the same move, man. The actual petition that we started, I'll be updating that pretty soon. We still have a couple of I's we need to dot and some T's we got to cross. But what I've done is I've assembled a team of individuals who are authoritative figures in their field, be it investment banking, be it blockchain, digital currencies, be it, entertainment law. I mean, we're bringing the entire aspect of this thing to the table in order to give the fans the opportunity to be fractional owners in what we're doing and understand what that means and how that affects their generational wealth. Because it's the same thing that we do in the S.D.F.L. with these athletes and these players. They want to come in and be employees, but by the time they're done with us, they're owners. And it's the same thing with the fans. So we got some good stuff on the table, man. I think it's going to be good, and they're going to love it, man.
Bruh, I love it already, man. That's why I love having you on, because, bruh, when you come in, you blow stuff up, and that's what I like. We don't need it to be the same. If it was fine the way it was, we wouldn't have the problems that we have. So I absolutely love that. You got something that y'all are doing this Saturday. Talk about that, the vision behind it, and I will be out there, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, brother. I wouldn't have it any other way, man. So what we have is what we call Ball for the Cause. We're going to do flag football game. We're going to do a demonstration in regards to the wheelchair football. But it's for raising money for Watering Seeds, what they deal with, people with disabilities, wounded veterans, so many different aspects of it, man. And we're partnering up just to bring Huddle Up Foundation of Houston out there, that we're going to be doing some things. And man, we're just going to have a good time. We're going to have a lot of the founding guys as far as with the Texans will be out there. We're going to have a lot of different celebs that's going to step out there for a sec. And we're going to do it over there at the Texans YMCA. And then we're going to do that, man. We're going to have a good time with it, man. We're out there in the open, so social distancing. I mean, we're going to have a good time, man. And it's going to be a beautiful deal, man. So I'm encouraging people to come out Saturday morning from 9:30 to noon. Come out there and have some good food. We'll have some pizza. We'll have a few vendors out. You'll get a chance to just, be close to us, man. And like I say, it's about bridging that gap from fans to family, because we all need each other in this thing.
Absolutely. I got the website going through www.wateringseeds.org/ball for the cause. You can go there and find more information. We got it scrolling right there on the Facebook Live, on YouTube. If you're listening on KYOK Radio, again, you want to go to www.wateringseeds.org/ball for the cause. And I love it, brother. I love the work that you put in and the difference that you make. You don't stop, man. You just don't stop.
Nah, man, it's something God gave me, man. It'd be a slap in the face to the creator if I didn't use it,
Man, say that again. Wait, say that again.
It would be a slap in the face to the creator if I didn't use my gifts that he gave me. And that's called purpose. So every day I wake up, it's with purpose. I'm intentional about all my moves. And my thing is, I understand what I'm here for. Every movement needs a sacrificial lamb. And I understand what comes with what we're doing when it comes down to me. But I'm a grown man. I'm transparent. I don't run from anybody or anything. because I learned how to navigate these waters from my parents. I learned how to navigate these waters from the people that I surround myself with, and they are smarter than me. So I'm not the smartest guy in the room by any means, but I understand how to connect people and connect people to this purpose. So that's where we are with it, man. We're gonna have a good time with this thing, but my thing is making sure that, generationally, we're gonna leave this thing better than when we got here, and that's on us. So we got to do our part, and that's what I'm here for.
Man, I'm serious, brother. That did something to me, man. I had tears in my eyes. It'd be a slap in the face to the creator if
Oh,
I don't use
absolutely.
the gifts he gave me, man. Bruh. And see, that's why I say, man, folks don't know how to humanize y'all, man. I mean, think
Right.
about it. If some random dude said that, they'd be trying to put him on TBN and Daystar and all this other stuff. Garrick
Right.
Jones said it, and for some reason, because he's a former NFL athlete, people don't think they want him to just shut up and play. And bro, that's
Right.
wow, man. That's that right there. In my business, we say that'll preach. That will work for anybody in any walk of life. It'd be a slap in the face to the creator if you don't use the gifts and talents he gave you.
Man, and that's for everybody. That ain't just me. That's for everybody, all the listeners. Man, that's for the kids, man. If you sit down and you be quiet and just listen to kids and study them and observe them, you learn so much. Because they're coming into this thing unfiltered. And right now we got a lot of filters that are up, and we got the wrong type of filters. So my thing is being childlike with this thing, man, and just coming into it with the idea of, man, you told me no, but what does that mean to me? You know what I'm saying? The first three letters of Cain are C-A-N. Let's get it.
Man. He said the first three letters. Eric, bro, you killing me, man. You taking me too fast. Hold on, man. Slow that fastball down.
Right.
That's good, bro. Before we go,
yeah.
You got a pretty compelling story. A lot of folks don't realize, man, that you were closer to not making it than was. You didn't come out highly recruited, highly drafted, and what have you, man. You literally had to jump in your ride and hit the country and go to this tryout and go to that tryout and what help somebody understand that experience right there as we're getting ready to come up on the NFL draft. And we're going to hear the big names, but it's going to be some names that we'll either hear way down the line or not at all. Help somebody understand the truth behind that whole experience.
Man, it's something that it really tests you. It really shows you what you're made of when it comes down to it, man, because realistically, less than 1% of all athletes across the world make it. There's only 256 slots when it comes down to draft day 257. And you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of athletes that are eligible. Yeah. So you got to be cut from something to get drafted, and you got to be cut from something even more to even get into the NFL, because that everybody doesn't meet the height requirements for that ride, and I showed that I did, and that was because of me chasing scouts all over the country, and just understanding what I needed to do, because at that point, I didn't really know what it was until now. Like today, it because of what I've gone through, now people can look at me and say, we might need to listen to this dude.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Because
let me pause for a second, because it just hit my spirit.
Right.
Okay, so the draft went by, your name didn't get called.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How long were you heartbroken? How long were you disappointed? How long were you depressed?
I mean, I wasn't, to be honest with you, because I had already done the work. Right. So I already knew that, for me to get drafted off the street without a senior season of college, I had already knew what the odds were in that. That was an even bigger jump. But for me to be on board, and I almost was drafted in the 7th round by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now that right there is like for me to be back in that conversation. But for guys that, have been, coddled and okay, you're the best, and this, that, and the third, and now they're on draft boards, and you're talking about them on TV, and this type and this, and now they don't get drafted. What you've done for them is you set them up for a fall.
Right.
And now that's when you get depressed, and you might go in as a high priority free agent, but now you're going in with a chip on your shoulder. Right. You had this draft party, and everybody was there, and and they ended up having to go home, and all these different things. So there's a lot of things that weigh on you, and it's kind of like with one of my athletes, Corey Taylor, with Pinnacle. Helping mentor him and trying to get him on as many different platforms as possible. this kid can really be a cornerstone of an NFL organization at the running back position because of his disposition and the things that he does. And what I'm learning about him is he's a lot like I am, you know. So you want to build those teams around guys like that. And he's a name that you're going to hear. He's out of Tulsa. He's an individual that, man, he's a wonderful kid, man. Had a couple of interviews. I want to get him on here with you, AJ. So we're going to talk about that.
Let's do it.
But yeah, no. And I mean, and that's the thing about it. When you really get a chance to see the human side of these athletes and they're not under that helmet, man, you'll be surprised that these guys are very good leaders off the field. And man, I mean, just guys go through so many emotional, there's just so much emotion on draft day, man. But you don't get that call, man. And you've been gamed up to like you were gonna be the next coming. It'll do something to you, man.
Roughly, how many times were you lied to when you was driving in your car across the country trying to go try out for a team? Just rough number. How many times were you lied to?
Oh man, a lot. You know what? And you know the funny thing about it was they were telling me what they only knew. Like these scouts, I've had scouts, you know, sit at the table with me and say, "Hey man, look, you might as well stop this because you'll never make it to the NFL. You lied to me, partner, because I made it, right?" So they were lying, you know, guys are like, "Yeah, man, you can get this, I'll get this worked out for you, I'll do this, I'll do that for you." So I was getting lied to on both ends, to be honest with you. But my thing was just making sure that I had this thing set up, and I stayed the course and I was consistent. So that gave me the validity when I sit down and I talk to athletes and then I talk to people in business and I talk to these fans. There's nothing that you can take from me. It's something God gave me, man. So we're in a good spot right now, man. We're about to get it changed.
I'm feeling you, man. I'm saying, because I'm thinking in my head, I wonder how many times promises got broken with Garrick.
Oh yeah, a whole lot.
I'm trying to figure out how many times the rug got pulled out from under Garrick, even after he got in the building.
Countless times. I mean, when I got to Jacksonville, after I had went through all of that, man, I got cut for being 5 minutes early to a meeting, right? I mean, I did all of that, and then I was 5 minutes early to a meeting instead of 10 minutes early to a meeting, and I got cut after everything I've done. So I was introduced to the politics of the game the moment I got there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know my story, you know what I had to do, and you made an example out of me just because you could. It wasn't because you didn't like me. You didn't even know me. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's one of those things, man. It's that power play, and it's unfortunate, but we're here to change that whole dynamic. I promise you that, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, man. The dude that's been forged by fire, the dude that has come through every single lie, every single broken promise, who got back up every time the rug was pulled out from under him, who, you know, didn't go the way he wanted it to, but it got done. Like you said, you got to the NFL. Yeah. This dude now has set his sights on doing something different in the NFL with teams, with front offices, with players. Bruh, I can't do nothing but bet on black. I can't do nothing. I can't bet on you, Doc. I can't do nothing but,
Please do. Man, you know, that's the thing about it. We started out asking for employment. Now it's ownership. You know, it's ownership now. I mean, you made it this way. And we're all going to eat together, but we have to spank you. And that's just what's going to have to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I just asked for a plate. Now I'm cooking.
Man, hey, you gonna have more on the plate, partner. You're gonna have some ownership.
On the plate. Now I'm providing the meal. So
that's what it's about.
Listen, let me hit the top of the hour, and then I want you to sign off, you know, properly, man, because I want you to. I just saw it. I want to make sure we give you your due, brother, because you're doing great things. And again, man, I want to make sure people know that there's guys like you looking out for the Deshaun Watsons of the world, and the guys out there that, you know, whether he did it or not, he still needs some good brothers around him. So stay right there. We're at the top of the hour. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
The Legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Just put the first hour on the books, got the second hour underway. Held Garrick over for just a little while longer. Garrick Jones, founder and commissioner of the States Developmental Football League, VP of the NFL Players Association, and he was a member of the Houston Texans, played in the NFL, the C.F.L., and doing some great things. I make the statement about being there for Deshaun. I know people roll their eyes. What about the victims? What about the victims? Those ladies are going to get the help they need. They're going to get a lot of people surrounding them and loving on them. But a lot of times people want to throw the man away. They just want to throw him away. Right. And Deshaun is still somebody's son. He's still a brother to many. He's still a friend. He's a dude that, might need our help one way or another. Whether he did it or didn't. Somebody needs to get around him now and say, yo, man, we can't have multiple outlets like this going forward. We're going to keep this a close knit. We're not going to do all this going forward. But folks don't like that. And I'm going to make it even personal. They want to throw us away. We're not doing that in 2021. We're not doing that no more. That's over. And we're not going to let other people dictate to us that we got to throw our sons and our brothers and our sisters and our daughters away.
Right. Oh, no. I agree wholeheartedly. When you sit down and you look at it, the court of public opinion is what it is, right? So when you have instances and things like that happen, even before all the facts of that, the court of public opinion, they already go into it, and it's emotional. It's emotionally charged, and that's where the education comes into play for everybody, so they understand, because there is a level of empathy that needs to be had in all instances for the athletes, for whatever victims, if there are, whatever the situation may be. We need to get through it, and we need to figure it out, because at the end of the day, these things never need to happen ever again. They never need to be in a position to happen again, and whatever else the situation deems. But ultimately, it's about us coming together and figuring this out, and then from there, making the adjustments and making sure that it never happens again. But unfortunately, the court of public opinion is the fans and the people that are around, and it's that shut up and play. You're making all of this money, and when the truth of the matter is, if you look at these athletes, man, they are underpaid. If you really sit down and look at the money that's being brought in on a game by game basis,
they ain't ready for that.
Underpaid. No, and I'm gonna teach that conversation. No, that's the thing about it. We're going to teach them so they understand it, and we're going to help them get to where they're making the money that they see these athletes make. So that way we eliminate all excuses, because I don't want to hear it. Right. It's time to put your money where your mouth is, because I've been watching and I've been understanding, and I've been befriending all of the fans. Like, that's the reason why I put my name in the hat, and I got with these fans and I said, hey, I want to be the next GM. Shoot your best shot. Yeah. And let me tell you up with these facts. So at the end of the day, I'm about all of this life that I talk about. And you got to have somebody like that is able to connect with fans, connect with these players, and also go in the boardroom and do what he needs to get done for the greater good of everybody. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So everybody understands that we all have a role in this, and we're going to get through this together. But we're going to put you in a position where you're eating well. I'm going to teach you how to hunt. And at the end of the day, when we get done, you have access to ownership, you have access to money, you have access to all these things. So when somebody makes some money, hey, it's no more than shut up and dribble and shut up and just play. We don't do that. At the end of the day, let's talk about it. Let's get it figured out. Let me figure out what's going on with you and how you were brought up in order for you to feel the way you do, because there's some biases there. And we're going to get down to the root of it, because I teach a webinar on diversity and inclusion. So we can get through it. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah. That's what I love about you, man. You cover from all aspects.
Yes, sir.
She's the owner of the Houston Phoenix Fire of the S.D.F.L. They were the champs last year. Look like they're going to win it again this year. She wants to know, are there any vendor opportunities for Saturday?
You know what? I believe that we have it shut down as of right now. But catch up with me offline, and I'll look into that. And see what the situation is. But we're going to have a number of events this year where we have the PA out, we'll have Huddle Up out, and we'll be doing some things. We're going to do some stuff in the summer. We're looking at teaming up with Jack Yates a little bit, because that's where Santana came out of as far as his high school. And we're going to be doing some bike rides and some park stuff. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities. So if we're not able to get some things going this weekend, we'll definitely have some stuff set up later on down the road.
Bless you on them bike rides, bro. Bless you on them bike rides, man. Bless you on those bike rides, man. Listen, I'll be on the mic talking about, all right, they take it off. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Right. There you go. Man, hey, you got to know your personnel, man. Know your limitations. I'm right there with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Garrick, again, tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, man, and
Man,
about on Saturday.
bro, I am all over the net, man. You can just Google me. You'll find a petition for the first portion of this deal. That's hashtag GJ for GM. We're gonna update that, with the new stuff that we're doing with Fan Centric, and some of this crowdfunding stuff that we're looking at doing in education and then ultimately ownership in teams and leagues across the world. But as far as with the other stuff that we got going on with Huddle Up, you can find me at hufoh.com. And you'll see some of the things that we're updating the site right now. You can just search out the NFLPA Houston chapter, and you'll see some things that are going on with that. Man, and LinkedIn, all the media outlets, IG, Twitter, Commissioner GJ. You can just put that stuff in. I'll pop up, man. I'm doing something every day. So
Yeah, you are.
I'm just trying to. I don't know, I don't know when I'm gonna check out, but I know when I do check out, it's gonna still be like I'm here. Just not in the physical form. So we're trying to get it together before that time comes.
Brother, please do me a favor, man. Push that off for a minute. We need you around, brother. You shifting the atmosphere.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to stay safe, man, because it's time, and we got to make this happen.
Do me a favor. Let's book it now, man. Why don't you come back next Tuesday with the young man you were talking about and Corey. Come on back next Tuesday. The draft is next Thursday, Thursday through Saturday. And I would love to hear from him and get your thoughts on the draft. Everybody's talking about these quarterbacks, man. Listen, there's a whole lot of lives that's going to be changed Thursday through Saturday next week. So
right.
Looking forward
Absolutely.
To it. Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm a big time. I don't know. You can book that, man. We'll be here. Put a pin in that one. We in there. Yep.
Okay. Appreciate it. Garrick, have a blessed rest of your day, man. Always a pleasure having you, brother. And don't forget, it'll be a slap in the face of the Creator.
Yes, sir.
Use the gifts he gave you.
Man, that's for everybody, not just me. I need everybody to step up.
Yes, sir. You put us on notice today, brother. That right
Absolutely.
there was the gem, man. We appreciate you, man.
Got it, brother. Love you, man.
Love you too, Garrick. All right, y'all. Garrick Jones, like you said, y'all hashtag him, Google him, follow him. This brother is doing it big. He ain't talking about it. He is doing it. He's getting it done, and he's accessible. And he is accessible. Man, I'm serious. I'm never want to self-promote. You know me. I'm not that dude. I don't self-promote at all. But let me tell you something. That part of the show right there, clip that up and share that with somebody, because his encouragement, his testimony, and those gems. He said that, man. That right there touched me in a way. I was paused, man. My breath was gone. I had to receive that. It is a slap in the face to the Creator not to use your gifts. That's why you can't just shut up and play. That's why, ladies, don't let them tell you get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Man, we gotta fight for it all. WNBA, NCAAW, we gotta fight for it all. We gotta fight for it all. So, man, and you're worth the fight. Hear me say that. You're worth the fight. That blessed me, man. I'm lit up. I'm almost, I don't even know I feel like I need to just go do something that I was supposed to do. I need to go do it. I need to resurrect something and go back out there and do something. So thank you, Karen. Thank you, April. April, of course, was just on the show last Friday. She lit us up last Friday with her words of encouragement. So yeah, man, y'all go back and chew on that some more. Listen to it again. You'll hear more nuggets out of that right there. Keith Hennig, attitude and aptitude equals success. I believe it 100%. That's why I say Garrick Jones is the right one and the wrong one. Let me tell you what I mean by that. He's the right one for the call, and he's the wrong one to doubt and count out. A lot of folks counted him out because he was doing it through a petition drive. Man, let me tell you something. That brother has not stopped moving. The Texans did not have the final say in who Garrick Jones was, is, and is going to be. Yeah, they hired Nick Caserio, but they needed Garrick Jones. And now Garrick Jones is doing, a whole lot that's going to affect a whole lot more people. Like I said, just wanted a seat at the table. Now we bringing our own. We bringing our own table. And it won't be long before the Texans and other organizations are going to be trying to sit at his table. Folks always say, oh, AJ, come on. The NFL is a 15, almost $20 billion organization. I remember a time when boxing was the number one sport in America. I remember a time when baseball was the number one sport in America. Every great undefeated empires have fallen. And if the NFL don't get it together, and I'm not talking about black head coaches, I'm not talking about black GMs, I'm not talking about black quarterbacks. All right, I'll leave it. Just check your history. Do it that way. I'm not threatening nobody. Just check your history. Leave it at that. The Garrick Jones of the world and those who support him and believe in him, they coming. And I'm going to be on that train. I'm riding that train. Got the website right there. Follow the website. Follow the link. Connect with that. That's happening this weekend. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
You just keep on telling yourself.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Got to give the people what they want.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend.
John P. Key, the legendary John P. Key. John P. Key. John P. Key and New Life is coming to the Houston area in Porter, Texas, at the Embassy Event Center. Join Apostle David Gilliam as we welcome John P. Key and New Life. It's the I Made It Out Drive-In Sabbath concert. Saturday morning, April 24th at 10:30 a.m. Admission is absolutely free, but you must reserve your spot by texting JPK to 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. Come be uplifted and refreshed with John P. Key and New Life. 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Make sure you text the letters JPK 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. The legendary John P. Key.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Team Texas Tuesday, and, man, Garrick Jones just lit me up. I do. I loved every bit of that. Hold on. Let me stop that. Let me save that down to my. Yeah, here we go. All right. Yeah, that lit me up. That's one of those interviews I could do it all over again. Not because we got it wrong, because it was so good, and I want more of that. Let me go to a couple of text messages. Does Garrick Jones have any leadership or mentor training? Yes, he sure does. I will connect y'all. And then all of the brilliant black people that you have on the show, I think we can all collab and pour into and support each other. That's the whole point. When I bring folks on the show, I'm bringing them on because I believe that they've got something to deposit into us all, and then we can turn around and deposit something back into them. And like Garrick kept saying all the way throughout the interview, we are really legitimately in this together. Like, we are really and legitimately in this together. And Garrick is connected to some doers, not talkers, doers. And that's why I wanted him to kind of get into his story a little bit, because Garrick has been doing when others said he couldn't, he wouldn't. Garrick, all right, I'll be right back. It's like, oh, Doc, you done got a tryout? Yep. Oh, did you get it? Now, but I'll be right back. Oh, dude, you done got another child? Yep. Did you get? I'll be right back. You got another child? Yep. Did you get? Yep. I did. You in the NFL? Yep. Yep. Sure am. Played for the Texans. Played for the Texans. Played for Jacksonville. Played for the CFL. I believe it was with the Atlanta Hawks too. Played in the CFL. Came out of that, and guess what? Started his own league, States Developmental Football League. Commissioner, founder. And made a legitimate, serious push for general manager for not just the Texans, but other organizations brought him in. And he ain't done yet. Man, I'm with y'all. This we can pull together with folks like that and do this. So I'm keeping an eye on the news. Of course, the Derek Chauvin murder trial of George Floyd is in deliberation right now. With the jury. The jury is sequestered, so I've got all my alerts going for when that verdict comes back. I know there are some that think that it will be a long time before the verdict will be in. I don't know if I feel that way. I feel like one way or another, that verdict is going to come in sooner than we think, and we'll take it from there. I know we're supposed to be talking sports. I got to deal with one thing real quick. I got an issue with the judge saying that the comments from U.S. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, auntie as some people call her, could have opened the door for a mistrial. Let me just say something, and I'm going to say it flat-footed and with my chest, through my throat. If nothing that the former president of the United States said from 2016 to 2020, opened up mistrials, opened up hung juries, opened up a change from the law, then nothing Maxine Waters said yesterday did that either. And if you're going to try and skip over all that, I'm not picking sides. I'm just telling a fact. And I'm saying it flat-footed from my chest, with my throat, out of my own mouth. If nothing that dude said, the whole president of the United States of America opened up any mistrials, hung juries, non-legal verdicts and stuff like that, then you'll be all right. You'll be all right. She didn't ruin nothing. In fact, you might be a little overly concerned about it. Stop it, y'all. Stop it. This fake outrage and sensitivity. Just do the right thing. Stop killing unarmed Black people during routine traffic stops. Stop policing Black people differently than you police other cultures. Stop it. Stop fearing for your life when it's us, and you don't fear for your life when it's somebody else. Use that same compassion and training and great policing and Blue Lives Matter. Use it when a Black life is involved. And I'm tired of your statistics. I'm tired of your yeah buts. One is too many, and we saw one on national TV. And I don't care about his past because he wasn't doing none of that right then. And if you're telling me that what he did is the penalty of him being murdered on national TV, then there's a whole lot of other folks that don't look like him that should have the same fate. And you know that's not true. So stop it. If you are a true Christian, and I'm not talking about a white Christian or a Black Christian, if you are a true Christian, pray for this nation. Because whether you're experiencing any pains or racisms or discriminations, other people are, and you are supposed to be concerned about other people too. In fact, the scripture says before yourself. So stop it. Tired of the fake. Tired of the yeah buts. Tired of all this other nonsense. People are dying, and you come up with a statistic. People are dying, and you're coming up with a yeah, but. Oh, but AJ, he was on drugs. All right, so get him rehab. Oh, but AJ, he's resisted arrest. Okay, charge him with resisting arrest. Oh, but AJ, he committed a crime. He held a knife to some woman's stomach. Okay, charge him with felonious assault. Stop killing people. Well, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to comply. Who is y'all? Let me tell you who y'all is. You. All right, so I'm done. Let me get back to some sports. Great interview with Garrick Jones, man. Not because I did it, but because he said it. Great interview, great nuggets, great feedback, great stuff. All right, take a break. I'll come back, talk about the Rockets, talk about the Spurs, talk about Steph Curry. Man, Chris Paul, y'all wrote him off. He's still balling. We'll be right back on the lunch break.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378. Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and yeah, I'm already getting the comments and the feedbacks. I'm going to tell you, like I told y'all the other day, I ain't reading your comments, so if you want to call and say what you got to say, go ahead and do that. Yeah, go ahead and do that. But I'm not reading your comments behind where you get to hide behind a text message and some initials. Not doing that. So if you got something you want to say, go ahead and hit me up, and I'll do that. I'll do that. But yeah, we're not playing you're gonna talk all strong behind text messages and emails. So not doing that. But it's funny, ain't nobody saying that the judge should just shut up and judge and that he should keep politics out of the courtroom. Ain't nobody saying that. But let an athlete have something to say about what's going on in his community, and then all of a sudden it's shut up and dribble, shut up and play football. You know, Brett Favre out there telling people to, keep politics out of sports, and they got all kinds of tweets and messages that he put out there about political stuff. It's funny how fast that stuff comes back at you and back on you. So anyway, we didn't get a chance to do Sybil Wilkes. Let me get her on real quick with her COVID update.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy threatened to bring action against Congresswoman Maxine Waters if she is not punished for what Republicans say is inciting violence. During a demonstration in Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis over the weekend, following the killing of 20-year-old Dante Wright, the 82-year-old representative said activists had to be more confrontational. Mrs. Waters dismissed claims that she encouraged confrontation, saying she is nonviolent and will continue speaking truth to power. As vaccines are being administered daily, the parts of the U.S. that are lagging in residents being inoculated are mirroring the nation's political map. Red and blue states. Democratic-led states such as New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts boast vaccination rates of 55% or higher. Meanwhile, the 5 least vaccinated states, where fewer than 40% of residents have opted for the vaccine, lean red or Republican. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Appreciate Sybil Wilkes and that COVID update. Let's see what else we got. Any other breaking news out there, sports related? What have y'all done to Steph Curry? What have y'all done to Steph Curry? I'm gonna do what needs to be done. Ahem. I've got a statement. Ahem. Ahem. Is this on? Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Okay. AJ Jones, host and founder of the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show, do hereby officially and profusely apologize to Stephon Curry. I was one of the many people who said that Stephon Curry could not carry a team like a LeBron James or like a Kevin Durant, and clearly I was wrong. Steph Curry is playing out of his mind, and I, for one, would like to apologize to him on behalf of my bad behavior. I do herefore toot with, henceforth now and forevermore, thou to be, ist, dost, and thou apologize and will not make that same mistake again going forward. I do, again, apologize, and I will not be making any further statements or taking any questions about the matter. Thank you. Just apologize, Doc. Just get on this mic, brother, sister, friend, colleague, fellow member of the mic, television, radio, podcast, blog, video blog, whatever. If you know that you talk bad about that little brother, Steph Curry, get on the mic right now. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. Apologize. Get that man the I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. Good gracious mercy me. I'm just saying. I said it. I said it. I said he could not lead a team. He could score. He's a great scorer, prolific scorer, one of the best. That dude done shifted into something else. He done found another gear that I didn't think he had. I was wrong. Wrong. And I ain't gonna but it either. Steph Curry is playing like he done lost his ever-loving mind in a good way. I mean, good gracious. Steph Curry lit the Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia was undermanned. I get it. Stop it. But he lit them up for 49 points. 10 3-pointers, 49 points, got the win, 106-97. Curry scored, checked notes, 20 points in the fourth quarter while hitting 5 of his 3-pointers, and he did this in a little over, check notes again, 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Steph Curry, you're on, on. I mean, man, Dude is on fire. All right, so here we go. Here we go. For Steph Curry, it was his 11th straight game with at least 30 points or more, which he broke, that was held by Kobe Bryant's record for old guys scoring. So in the history of the NBA, nobody 33 years of age or older had 11 straight games with 30 points or more. Kobe Bryant had the record of 10 straight back in December 2012. It was his 5th 40-point game in April. We're on April 20th. 420. We're on April 20th. And Steph Curry's got 5 40-point games. He passes Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games in the month by a player aged 33 or older. Steph Curry, the last 5 games that he's played, you ready? 49 points, 10 3-pointers. 47 points, 11 3-pointers. 33 points, 4 3-pointers. 42 points, 11 threes, and 53 points on 10 made 3-pointers. I'm just saying. Back where anyone came from. That's called balling. That's just straight up balling. Let's see what else I got. He also appears to be shooting through a hula hoop while world-class shooters are stuck trying to conquer one of those optical illusion caravan carnival rims. Steph Curry just had another 10 3-pointer game. That's 21 for his career. Klay Thompson has the second most ever with 5. Most 10-point made 3-point games, Steph Curry 21. Number 2 has 5. No one else has more than 3 in NBA history. Steph has had 4 in the last 7 days. What y'all do to that man? What did y'all come after Aisha again? Y'all came after Aisha because she was trying to mollywop. What y'all do to Aisha? Whatever y'all did, y'all need to take it back. I'm telling you, you're going to mess up somebody's playoff bracket. Steph is going to bounce somebody's team out the playoffs. And y'all going to be mad. Oh, I can't believe he did that. He gets on my nerves. We hate your restaurant. They closed it in Houston. You can't say that no more. That dude is amazing. Steph Curry just overtook Bradley Beal for the NBA scoring lead in a chase for his second scoring title. Steph Curry is averaging 31.4 points per game. Bradley Beal, 31.1. Steph Curry right now is the league MVP. Right now. I know every year that LeBron is alive and breathing and playing in the league, he should get it. But right now, if I'm going to be fair, I give it to Steph. Right now. I'm not saying it'll be that way by the end of the year. I said right now, Steph Curry. Period. WAP, period. I said what I said. I'm not caught in the moment. He's been doing this for a little bit longer than the moment. Congratulations, Steph. I mean, seriously, bro. I am no Golden State Warrior fan, but I got to give credit where credit is due. That young man right there, ballin'. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let me check the standings real quick because I know that I was one of the few people that said out of the top 8 in the Western Conference this year was going to be a team from Oakland, San Francisco, named the Golden State Warriors. So at number one, at number one, Utah, number two, Phoenix, number three, Clippers, number four, Nuggets, number five, Lakers, number six, Blazers, number seven, Mavericks, number eight, Memphis, and number nine, Golden State. One game out of that number 8 spot. So they are in the play-in conversation, and don't nobody want to play them. Don't nobody want to play them. And oh yeah, by the way, let me say this real quick. And they're doing it pretty much without your boy Draymond Green, because he's done little or nothing but talk about stuff he shouldn't talk about. Steph Curry is about to mess up somebody's playoff bracket. I'm just telling you now. Steph Curry is about to mess up somebody's playoff bracket. The top teams, the teams in the playoff bracket right now, or the play-in bracket, I should say. Mavericks at 7, Grizzlies at 8, Golden State at 9, and Spurs at 10. New Orleans got a little work to do to get in that discussion, and not a lot of time to do it. So there we go. All right, before I take my next break, Chris Paul, remember him? They didn't want him here. James Harden didn't want him here in Houston either. I said either because he didn't want Dwight Howard here, didn't want Chris Paul here, fell out of love with Russell Westbrook, and then he wanted out himself. Chris Paul did it again. Chris Paul went for 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 13 assists in a 128-127 win over Milwaukee. Chris Paul, with his 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 13 assists, just passed Magic Johnson for 5th place on the all-time assist list. Say what you want to say about him. Couldn't get it done here. Old, washed up, not who he used to be. No playoff run, blah, 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 blah. Chris Paul is a grown man balling. You don't get to number 5 on the all NBA assist list and you ain't balling. Okay, let me get that list for you real quick. Let me let you see who's all on that list. Career assist leaders for the NBA/ABA. Number 1, John Stockton, 15,800 plus. Number 2, Jason Kidd. That's why a lot of folks kill me when I say Jason Kidd this, Jason Kidd that. Jason Kidd was one of the best ever in assists, 12,091. Number 3, Steve Nash, 10,335. Number 4, Mark Jackson, who should be an NBA coach, by the way. And number 5, now Chris Paul, 10,145. Number 6, Magic Johnson. Number 7, Oscar Robinson. Number 8, a little kid from Akron that everybody swears is overrated. 6'9", 6'10", LeBron James is number 8 all-time NBA in assists, ahead of Isaiah Thomas and Gary Payton. Russell Westbrook is 13th. Rajon Rondo is 15th. Love it. Love it. All right. That's I had to get to that. Again, for my statement, no further questions or comments. All right, y'all. Be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won.
No, the battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America Working Forces, Claude Cummings Jr., agent.
Do you watch?
John P. Key, the legendary John P. Key. John P. Key. John P. Key and New Life is coming to the Houston area in Porter, Texas, at the Embassy Event Center. Join Apostle David Gilliam as we welcome John P. Key and New Life. It's the I Made It Out Drive-In Sabbath concert. Saturday morning, April 24th at 10:30 a.m. Admission is absolutely free, but you must reserve your spot by texting JPK to 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. Come be uplifted and refreshed with John P. Key and New Life. 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Make sure you text the letters JPK 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. The legendary John P. Key.
Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
My name is Devon McDonald from Jamaica. Play with Indianapolis Colts. And listen, you listen to the lunch break.
All right, you're listening to the lunch break, but you can also be listening to Coffee with Keith. Airs on Saturday from 12 to 1 right here on KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Coffee talk like you never imagined. I'm telling you, he brings it to you in a whole different perspective, and we'll even talk to you about how you can monetize it. You like coffee, you need to listen up. So Coffee with Keith, coming Saturday, 12 to 1, right here, KYOK AM 1140, 92.3, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. You'll thank me later. All right, so there was some basketball last night. Rockets did it a little differently than they normally did it. They did it a little differently. Normally they start off slow and finish strong. This time they started off strong and finished slow. They were up 55 to 54 on the Miami Heat. And then Miami got hot. And the Rockets ended up losing 113 to 91. 113 to 91. You know, Miami scored what, 69 points? No, 59 points in the second half. The Rockets scored 44. Tough second half. They got 18 from Christian Wood. They got 18 from Kevin Porter Jr. But, man, defense matters. Defense matters. And then they got a tough run coming up, man. They got a tough run coming up. They got Utah tomorrow. They've got the Clippers on Friday, and then they got Denver over the weekend. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. So we'll see. We'll see what this young Rocket team made up. They got Utah tomorrow right here in town. Tips off at 7. Spurs beat the Pacers 109-94 last night, thanks in large part to 25 from Derek White. Derek White dropped 25 on him. In fact, all Spurs starters scored in double figures. They got the win. They're going to host Miami tomorrow at 7:30. That'll be a good litmus test. That will be a good litmus test. And then, of course, the Rangers beat the Angels 6-4. So what? Who cares? And then the Astros will visit Colorado tonight at 7:40. Somebody say, why do you do that with the Rangers? I don't like them. That whole mass thing. We're just gonna put 40,000 folks in the stadium, and then everybody got to sit by each other, and good luck. Okay. All I got for you. Rangers beat the Angels 6-4. Astros at Colorado tonight at 7:40. And the news that I've been trying to get to, Deshaun Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, had to file a response to all 22 of the remaining allegations, civil suits filed against the quarterback. And on each of them, Rusty Hardin pleaded not guilty on behalf of Deshaun Watson. After which, though, he said that all of the women were lying. All of the women accusing the quarterback of sexual assault, according to attorney Rusty Hardin, are lying. Now, 2 of the women have agreed to speak with the NFL in their investigation into the allegations against Deshaun. And remember, for the NFL, there doesn't have to be a guilty verdict. There doesn't have to be the burden of proof is nowhere near where it is in an official court or civil court. I mean, they suspended Ben Roethlisberger. They suspended Ezekiel Elliott. They even suspended a guy out for the San Francisco 49ers that the woman recanted her story. And the evidence proved that he did not do what she said that she did, but the NFL still suspended him for violation of the personal conduct policy. So, I'm not trying to decide this in the court of public opinion. I just feel like there's going to be something coming down from the NFL at some point. At some point. I believe that. Don't know what's going to happen with the civil cases. Again, let me say, we take sexual assault against women and men very serious. Very serious. It is a serious situation. And it needs to be handled in the right forum. Not public opinion, but by police departments and by court officials who have been sworn to uphold the law. No buts. No buts. So that's all I got to say about that. There are people running around and say, "Oh, it's a money grab." I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I'm not saying that. Whatever it is, let it be adjudicated. Let it be tried in the right venue. My opinion matters for nothing. I threw my opinion out there, said I think Deshaun is done in Houston. I still think that. I don't think whether he's guilty or innocent, Deshaun will play another down in Houston. So we'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. All right. NBA Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen needs our prayers. He and his entire family needs our prayers. His 33-year-old son, Antron Pippen, passed away. And Scottie, man, the post that he put out had me in tears. The post that Scottie Pippen put out had me in tears. Let me get to it. I want to read some of it because it just needs to be read. Just needs to be heard. Hang on, let me find it. I'm going straight to Twitter because that's where I saw it. Scottie Pippen. Okay, here we are. Scottie Pippen said, and I quote, "I'm heartbroken to share that yesterday I said goodbye to my firstborn son, Antron. The two of us shared a love for basketball, and we have countless conversations. We had countless conversations about the game. Antron suffered from chronic asthma, and if he hadn't had it, I truly believe he would have made it to the NBA. He never let that get him down, though. Antron stayed positive and worked hard, and I'm so proud of the man that he became. Please keep his mom, Karen, and all of his family and friends in your thoughts and prayers. A kind heart and beautiful soul gone way too soon. I love you, son. Rest easy until we meet again." Yeah. That just puts it all in perspective for me. You know, these guys are human. These ladies are human. When they're not playing basketball, when they're not playing football, when they're not running track, when they're not playing baseball or softball, tennis, MMA, boxing, horse racing, NASCAR, Indy 500, whatever it is, when they're not doing that, their husbands, their wives, their fathers, their mothers, sisters, brothers, friends, cousins, sons and daughters. Scottie Pippen's son is gone. And I pray that you'll do what he asked. If you don't pray, think about him. If you do pray, pray for him and think about him. If you're an atheist, for Christ's sake, just positive energy. You know, being sympathetic and empathetic and extending condolences shouldn't be based on religion, division, race, whether you feel like a person should shut up and play. Something should humanize us. That one did for me. All right, let me get ready to get out of here. Sybil Wilkes is going to give us the final look at what we need to know today on COVID-19. Donnie McClurkin will be up after that with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, the latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. In the morning, you got Erica Campbell and Griff, Get Up Mornings. And then after that, I'll be back with Winning Wednesday. Should have a special guest with me tomorrow. We'll see how everything plays out. We'll have them on with me tomorrow. I want to thank Garrick Jones for a powerful interview today. Love that brother. Can't wait to be out there with them on Saturday. And my thoughts and sincere prayers go out for you as well. Again, our nation is at a place where, man, we need some unity. We need some peace. We need some calm. But people need some justice too. People need to feel like they matter. And if you say that all lives matter and you won't let somebody finish their statement of Black Lives Matter, then you ought to be praying for there to be justice for the Floyd family. Why do you say that, AJ? That maybe the cop went wrong. There's no way that's good policing, that you can kneel on a person's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds till the life has gone out of their body and stand up and say, I did a good job. I did the right thing. I protected and served to the best of my ability. No way you can say that. So AJ, you're tainting the jury pool. Now they're sequestered. They're not listening to me. They weren't listening to Maxine Waters. Stop making excuses. Stand for what's right. Do what's right. If you don't, then You know what that means. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize everything around you, be sensitive to everyone around you. Give people their 6 feet. When you see that racism, kill it, not the person, but the racism. And stop killing unarmed Black people. Okay? Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian Pacific hate. Pacific Islander hate. Stop it. Lord say the same. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy threatened to bring action against Congresswoman Maxine Waters if she is not punished for what Republicans say is inciting violence. During a demonstration in Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis over the weekend, following the killing of 20-year-old Dante Wright, the 82-year-old representative said activists had to be more confrontational. Mrs. Waters dismissed claims that she encouraged confrontation, saying she is nonviolent and will continue speaking truth to power. As vaccines are being administered daily, the parts of the U.S. that are lagging in residents being inoculated are mirroring the nation's political map, red and blue states. Democratic-led states such as New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts boast vaccination rates of 55% or higher. Meanwhile, the 5 least vaccinated states, where fewer than 40% of residents have opted for the vaccine, lean red or Republican. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
Can you just smile?
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. We really loved our guests today. Loved your calls. Just love y'all. Praying with y'all. Praying for y'all. Want y'all to do the same. Okay? All right. Y'all take care.